Hello gamers, this is going to be a quick walkthrough on how to set up your own world using the One World Hub. Now I'm going to start by grabbing an export made by Ignore. He has several out. I'm just going to grab the first one here. He just has the bag sitting on his table. I'm going to grab this bag and I'm going to copy it. Now I'm going to go up and start the One World module. And the first thing I'm going to do after it loads is I'm going to export a zone from the world that's currently loaded, which is the rule of man is the module that's loaded when you first start. So I'm going to go ahead and initialize the unit, and then I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to head into the main map, and from there I'm going to jump up to the high pass. Once I'm here at the high pass, I'm going to go ahead and build the objects that are associated to this zone. So now we have the zone built, and I'm going to go ahead and export that. I'll open up the keys here and hit export. And simple enough, we now have an exported bag. I'm going to put with this bag the bag we copied from Ignore's module. Now we have two exports for One World sitting here. We're going to put these into our brand new world. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear the hub, and I'm going to use the new button here. If the button isn't appearing, just use this arrow here. I'm going to double click on this new button. What that's going to do is it's going to pull up the Rule of Man bags, and it's going to create two new ones. So let's double click that. Now I have two brand new bags here, unnamed and ready to go, and I have the old bags here with all of the objects. I'm just going to delete these. Get rid of that world. Now we have brand new bags here, and we're going to go ahead and call these, for right now, we're just going to call these New World on both bags. So both bags are going to have the exact same name. We're going to come in here, we're going to name this one New World as well. And now we're going to relock the unit. Once done, we now have the One World, but there's nothing in it. It's completely empty. Both bags are at 0. But we're going to go ahead and start our own world. Now I'm going to alt out to Google for a moment, and I've already picked out a map. As you can see, I've just searched D&D maps on the internet, and I've just grabbed a map that I knew was the right aspect ratio for our table. Now if you're going to be using a map that's not the right aspect ratio, you'll either have it not quite fit your table, or you're going to need to take it into some sort of tool like Paint.net or Photoshop, GIMP, and you're going to need to change the aspect ratio on that art and upload it to your own URL. But that's another story. So for right now, I've picked out a piece of art right here that I know matches our table, and I'm just going to copy the image address of this art sitting up on the internet, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab one of these panels and put the art on there. Now in order to create one of those panels, all you need to do is just tap the new button once, and that's going to create you one of these panels. Just come in here to the custom art and paste in that URL. I'm going to put the merge distance to maximum because there's no sense in wasting the resources, and let's just import that map. We now have this map ready to go, and we can drop it on here. Now currently it just says name of zone. We can rename that now if we like, or we can edit it later, but we're going to name it right now, and we're going to call it iron. For right now we're just going to call it iron. I know the art has something to do with iron. Let's drop it onto the clear One World hub. It's going to pack in there and load itself onto the table. So now we have our base art map, and it's kicked out a link to that. Let's go ahead and change the orientation on this. We want it to face this way, and let's take a look at the map. It says iron grip. So let's edit that. Let's hit the edit button, and I'm going to come in here and rename this to iron grip. You'll note that I haven't changed the prefix of SBX underscore. You want to leave that there so that the hub recognizes that object. So we've renamed it to Iron Grip, and let's end our edit mode. And now we're going to go back to the last thing we were at here. So there's our Iron Grip map, and you can see the orientation is as we set it. So now we're ready to go, and we have a link to the Iron Grip. Well, we want to put these two zones. So we have our Forest Encounter by Ignore, and we have High Pass, which was made actually by Mangy Squirrel. So what I'm going to do is let's look down here in this green area, and that's where we're going to go ahead and put this Forest Encounter. So to start, we're going to head and clear the base. We're going to take the Forest Encounter export, and you can note that by the OWX underscore. Again, don't alter any of this syntax. We're going to take this encounter and we're going to drop it onto the One World hub. It has now been imported into the hub, and it also kicked out a link here of Forest Encounter. So let's go ahead and go backwards on here at the logo, and then look down into this area here in the green. Let's grab this Forest Encounter. I'll zoom in a little bit here. We'll grab this, and let's just drop it, this Forest Encounter right here in this little green area. We now have an X on our map, on our Iron Grip map. I can click this X, and now we're going to go. I can click the X again, or I can click here on the word. Either way, it's going to take me to this Forest Encounter. And up comes the artwork from Ignore, and let's go ahead and build up his terrain. And we now have this nice Forest Encounter built onto our Iron Grip main map, and it's ready to be used for your players. And we're going to go ahead and put the other export on there. Let's go ahead and clear this out, clear it again, and now we're going to take this High Pass, and again we're going to drop it onto a clear base. Nothing showing on the table, nothing showing on the base. And we've now imported the High Pass. Again, by just tapping backwards, we can come to the other objects, or forward, you can go through them. I'm going to go back to the Iron Grip map, and we're going to go up here into the snow, and we're going to drop this High Pass up here. Let me get a little better angle. We're going to drop it just right up here in the snow. So now we're going to click on this, and it's going to take us up to the High Pass. Once again, we can build up these objects, and we'll have all the objects built by Mangy Squirrel ready to go up here in our High Pass. And now we can get to both of those locations. But let's say we want to get back. Let's grab the Iron Grip link, and I'm just going to throw it on this road right here. And so now we're going to go back up to Iron Grip. And while I'm here at Iron Grip, I'm going to kick out the buttons, and I'm going to make an extra link to the Iron Grip. You can make that link here. And just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and make an extra one. Now I'm going to go back to the Forest Encounter because we hadn't put a link there. And on the road here in the Forest Encounter, I'm going to drop this Iron Grip. But let's just say I dropped it in the wrong spot. Well, by clicking on it once, it's going to come to unlink instead of link. And you can just simply kick it right back off. So here's that same link. Let's just put it on the road right here. And now we can travel back to Iron Grip. So we have our Iron Grip main map. We can travel to either the Forest Encounter, or we can travel to the High Pass. For one last little thing, let's go ahead and rename the Forest Encounter. So we've come into here, let's edit it, and come right in here, and we don't like Forest Encounter, it's kind of generic. Let's go ahead and call it just as generic. We're just going to go ahead and call it Dark Forest, but at least it's something. And now we can travel to the Dark Forest and build up those objects. And from the Dark Forest, we can travel right back out to Iron Grip. And from Iron Grip, we can go up to the High Pass. And then we can build up those objects. And this is just the tip of the iceberg on what you can start building in your own world. Of course, I've used art that already existed. Now that's a quick walkthrough on how you start your own world using the One World tool. Thank you very much.